I'm on the way to the hospital. My wife's having a baby.
There comes a time when you have to take off your kiddie pants and put on your dad pants.
Oh, here we are again. It's another episode of Dad Pants. Monty, we're bloody close now. How are you feeling?
Mate, I'm nervous. I'm very excited. I'm all the emotions at once.
All right. We're at your house. I've got a dog kind of just licking me all over at the moment.
That's Lola. That's our girl dog. This is Rudy. He's licking me at the moment. Sorry, I looked at him when I was talking. I should look at the microphone.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, there are dogs here. Speaking of which, that's an interesting thing. We don't know if they know we're having a baby yet.
Oh. All right. Well, what do you need to see to make you realise that the moment's come they do know?
Well, when they see a baby, I suppose. But
What do you think? Did you just burp?
Yeah, I did a little bit. I'm sorry.
Okay.
We think Rudy might know because he was putting his head on Lindsay's stomach a lot at the beginning.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen any other changes in their behaviour.
Are you looking for something in the eyes? A moment where there's you see some knowledge in the eyes that maybe they realise it's going on?
Yeah, or some writings. No, what we did learn at our birthing classes is that quite often dogs will know, or animals in the house will know before you're having a baby that you're about to have the baby. I don't know how they'll show that. They weren't clear about that, but
Is that where that piece of info ended? Like,
pretty much. It wasn't like, look out for this. Yeah, I was hoping for some more info there. Like, they say that dogs and cats know when there's an earthquake coming and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I assume it's the same. They have intuition for changes in their surrounds.
Similar vibe, I suppose. Yeah, that was funny. Look, we've got the pants panel waiting, so before we get to them, you had your baby shower / barbecue over the weekend.
Sure did.
How'd that go?
It was great. It was really good. It was a really fun day. Any of the nerves we had leading up were completely gone. We had a great bunch of friends come over, great bunch of family come around, lovely presents. Lindsay and I, in fact, have too many presents now, so we're just, sorting through what we have, thanking everyone. No, we had a great day. One of the funnier things to come out of it was we got... My father, very lovelily, got some balloons for the party, and I had said to him the whole time, no pink, we don't want pink, that kind of thing. And so he got this lovely balloon sign that said baby, and it was great. And I didn't realise, but there was a couple of blue balloons in there, and 3 people at work who had seen that sign on social media said, congrats on the baby boy.
Oh, right.
And I was like, really?
So it's
You've
2021.
got it all wrong. Yeah, I did.
Colours don't matter.
Pretty much exactly that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And then they go, all right, sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, they said, sorry, so you're having a girl? I said, no, it's a boy, but... No, I didn't say that. I am having a girl, so, yeah.
Okay, well, that's all lovely. And look, prepping for hospital, it's nearly time to go. How's the prepping going? You're packing all right, all that sort of stuff?
It's going good. I think I'd be going better if I got some stuff from the pants panel, you know what I'm saying? Need a bit of help from those boys. But, no, I think we're getting there. I'm nervous about it. I luckily live relatively close to the hospital at which the baby will be born, so can return if there are things I need.
Are you getting to the point now when you're at work and your phone rings and you can see it's your wife? Are you getting to the point where you're going, oh, hang about?
Weirdly, not as much as I should be, I think.
Right.
I think that hasn't kicked into my brain yet. It should. I do have another thing with it that we were talking about before. We mentioned the dogs, and I had heard that what's a good thing to do is once the baby is born, as I do live close to the hospital, bring home something that the baby has worn and give it to the dog so they can smell the smell and get used to the smell of the baby.
Oh, okay. So that's a piece of scientific advice?
Apparently scientific advice. I don't know if it's an old wives' tale or science, but I think it's science. And they start sniffing it so they're not freaked out when a new human smell comes into the house.
Oh, well, that's jolly good then, right?
Yeah. Like before you first came over and I brought your jacket here and gave it to them and they tore it to shreds.
Yes, I was wondering where that went. Strange, though, that you got them used to the smell of my balls.
Yeah.
That seems to be...
What have you been doing with your jacket, would be what I'd say.
I've said too much.
Pants panel.
Let's get to one.
Good.
Pants, they're We're a panel of dad experts. Hi, everybody. The Pants panel are back. They're back because they've got stuff to say. They want to help Monty. They're just kind of itching all week to talk dad stuff to Monty because they want to share their knowledge, and it's knowledge worth sharing. How are you all?
Very good, Buckland.
Very well.
Excellent. Feeling good, feeling pumped, feeling dad.
Ready to advise, really.
That delicious.
That's how I'm feeling.
Awesome.
Monty's sitting at our feet, and we are ready to impart wisdom.
We are dad
I await.
to the max.
So it's been a bit kind of cold and wet lately as we all spent a fair bit of time on bomb this week, I'm guessing, being dads.
Yes.
Yes.
Bomb being the Bureau of Meteorology.
It's been a great bomb week for dads.
Very big bomb week, yes.
How many different weather apps do you guys have on your phones?
The first thing you need to do is delete whatever the stock standard one is. Make sure
I
you
was
get the
going to
bomb app.
completely agree with
Yeah.
that. Yeah, get rid of that Apple fucking standard.
Whatever
It's
the
terrible.
AccuView or whatever kind of Google shite is on there,
Yeah.
go straight for the bomb, straight to the source.
Straight to bomb. I've got two, but I feel I should have more. I don't feel satisfied by what
Do
I
any of
got.
you pay for a weather app?
Oh,
That
Jesus.
would be next level. I don't.
Is there a
but
Bureau of Meteorology, like, extra information you
surely
can get?
there is. Like,
It's
yeah.
straight
The
into
real
the vein.
weather.
It's real weather.
Is that a dadness level if you don't believe the actual official government source of weather?
I work with a guy. And again, the app that he has the weather, like the temperature gauge, to 3 decimal points.
Wow.
I didn't think. What are you saying? Are you saying that Celsius has decimal points? Is that how that works?
Yeah, so it's not 13 degrees. It's 12.785.
So he's a dad?
And
Is he a dad?
Yeah, he's a dad. Yeah. And
All right,
yeah,
so we'll
the
add that
feels
to the
like.
list of.
Feels like,
well,
yeah.
hang on before we get on the
I
feels
fucking
like.
hate
Hang
the
on
feels
before we
like. Fuck
before
the
we
feels
get on the
like.
feels
I'll
like,
tell you
guys.
what it feels like. I'll
No,
tell
we're getting
you
on to
what
the
it
feels like. Excuse me, Monty. What are you talking about? You hate the feels like?
Yeah, because
You know-
you can't tell me what it feels like. I'll tell you what it feels like. It should be user added.
No, I'm sorry. No,
It doesn't matter what you think it feels like. I'll tell you. Look, it's 5 degrees. Feels like 12 degrees to me. It's nice and warm for me. Like,
But you might be inside, so that's not really helping anyone, is
yeah,
it?
no, but neither feels like.
It could be dependent on your clothes, Monty.
That's
I'm wearing the right
exactly-
clothes.
Lord.
Exactly right. You're making my point.
Assuming there's just a naked man standing out talking
Yeah.
in the feels like all the time.
Exactly.
He's just constant. He knows exactly what it feels like.
Can I tell you something? I saw an explainer today that actually explains the feels like.
Is it wind chill?
No, the official thing is designed to be measured of the discomfort caused to an appropriately dressed adult walking outdoors in the shade by the current wind and humidity levels.
I love the fact that we did not discuss that we were going to talk about this, and you had that ready to go.
I've got that
It's
fact
probably
ready
the
to go.
great-
He's got
Absolutely.
it
the most dad
tattooed.
bit
It's on his arm.
I've
It's
ever had.
tattooed.
Did you say appropriately dressed? That brings up question.
Well, also, yeah, by whose standard, I suppose.
exactly.
But yeah.
It has to be dad standards. They're the only ones reading all this stuff.
Well,
But dads wear
Dad's
shorts
sense-
in -5 degrees.
no, you're
So
right.
What about the
You're
economic
Good point.
situation of some dads? Can't afford a jacket. That's not fair to just assume that everyone can have a jacket.
No. Can I just ask the other dads on the panel, are you the go-to person in your household for weather? Because my kids just they don't care what mum has to say about what clothes to wear. They ask me. Is this all right? Am I going to be too cold when I go out
Do
in
your
this?
children actually ask you?
well,
I don't-
I've only got boys.
Right.
I don't get asked. I've only got boys. It's shorts all the time.
Yeah.
Even today, it was. We had to tell our son today. We don't like to tell you, like, make you wear stuff, but today is a long pant day, and there's no getting around it. You know.
I think that living in Mildura, there's two options. It's either boiling fucking hot or fucking cold. So it's one or the other. So it's either jackets and beanies and everything on, or it is basically nothing else. So that's what my kids generally wear. They're 50-50.
Yes.
I guess
Yeah.
most of them.
Now, what I enjoy about this, just quickly before you move on, sorry, what I enjoy about this is that we've got a bit of a Canadian audience going currently. So all
all
this
just
talk about being
bunch of
cold
bitches.
and Yeah, they're all in the middle of summer over there, so they're going to be.
And also, our concept of cold is very, very different to their concept of cold.
What's all this beanie talk, eh?
Yeah.
All right, let's not put them on side with our impressions of them, Stu.
They won't know that was an impression of them. That's very far from what anything sounds like.
But how about this? So my wife, just while we're on the weather, right? So my wife is from Edmonton in Canada. We lived there for a while. It is, what are we? Maybe 15 days, something like that, away from summer solstice. So it should be getting to the hottest time of the year. It is on Saturday this week in Edmonton. It's a high of 22 and a low of 9. That's midsummer weather. Next week it gets down to 4. That's the summer.
That's nuts.
Now, you are ready to be a dad because you are looking at weather in other parts of the world.
Parts of the world, yeah. And that is the only good thing about your default Apple weather app is that you can pop cities all over the place in there and get a really good comparison going at any time of day.
I quite like having cities I've been to in the past and just going, oh, yeah, that's what it's like.
Oh, yeah, if I was there right now, it'd be like this.
Exactly.
I remember it being hot there.
Exactly, right.
I wonder what it would feel like if I was there. I consider the temperature.
If I was appropriately dressed.
Shut up about this.
Yeah. Now, Monty, just quickly before you move on, please, before you move on, while we're talking about
I'm not moving
Edmonton.
on.
Hey, he's not moving on. I think he's staying right here. Yeah, exactly.
All right, I'm just all right. This is a weather special. I hadn't talked about this before, but just very quickly.
You brought up weather. You bring up weather. This is what dads do.
All right, so very quickly, just talking Edmonton for Australians who don't know, what is the kind of middle of winter temperatures you might be getting there?
Well, I remember a good way to describe that, and it's the description I use every time, is when I first got to Canada, it was the kind of maybe middle of November, and it was minus 10 Celsius the day I arrived. And I thought, wow, this is really cold. And we went to her parents' house. They said, you're really lucky to get here while it's warm. And I was like, what are you talking about?
Okay, yeah.
And then on my birthday, November the 27th, it was the
They were having slip and slides out the front yard when they go.
second coldest place on Earth. It was minus 47.5 degrees. That is not normal, but it's quite often below minus 30, which is just, it's
How
ridiculous.
does that even work?
But how do you even, I can't even conceptualize that.
I agree.
It's pretty amazing how adaptive the human body is.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's but does it get to a stage where, and I've been in probably down to minus 15, minus 20 in Sweden, and it didn't actually feel as cold as it does here at 0. It just doesn't have that same. The feels like factor is definitely not there.
Maybe you were more than appropriately dressed.
Well, Lindsay, my wife thinks it's far colder winters here because we don't heat our house properly.
Yeah, the heating in the house.
Well, that's exactly right.
And heating in the house, and also it's a wetter cold here. Over there, it's a very dry cold. That's very you can manage it if you have a jacket on. Nothing's getting in. You know what I mean? You can protect yourself.
It's good advice.
All right, sorry, Matt. We.
I was just going to go just to, future predicting for Monty. It might not be so much of an issue for him, but certainly for Rich in Mildura, where it does get cold, is when you're a parent, there comes a great winter in your future when your children have learned how to put on gloves.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Because when they are young, you are forever putting on their gloves and then their gloves fall off. And then you're going to put the gloves on. Isn't it cute? It is maybe the first time, but when you do it, I live in Canberra where the winter is quite, 4 to 5 months long. It is just annoying as all shit to go outside with your kids when they're young, and
I will introduce you to my children, Frostbite and Stumpy, because there's no way I'm spending any ridiculous amount of time putting gloves on anyway. So,
I wonder if the Canadian blood in my future child will help her with that kind of thing, because they're a glove wearing community. They know.
I would put their gloves on them and then tape them.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I would tape them to their wrists so they can't get them off until they go to bed, because it's just so annoying.
Yeah, it's lucky you married into a proud glove-wearing nation.
Yeah, that was pretty much the only reason. Yeah, it was I want a future child who's good with gloves.
All right. Well,
That and the syrup.
Canada, we wear damn good gloves and mittens.
We are really putting that sector of our audience.
Yeah, we're really isolating, aren't we? Sorry, Canadians.
at the risk of being really unpopular, turning away from weather here.
All right, see you guys.
Okay, so Monty is really close to D-Day, prepping for hospital. Any advice to give about when the time comes to go into hospital, what you pack, what you should do, that sort of thing?
Yeah, can I add a little bit of part of the question on? I'm currently packing my hospital bag. Any tips?
Don't pack headphones.
What do you need to take? You can.
What do you mean don't pack headphones?
And what do you mean? What do I need to take? The internet has led me to believe a lot of things.
What do you need for you? I guess is the question. Is there anything for you?
Look, a pair of pants, I suppose. Like, you know.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you what I do. Gloves, yeah.
Charger, so you can see all your weather apps.
Yeah, chargers is actually a big one.
When she's in the final stages of delivery, that's when it's appropriate to lean in and go, it's 14 degrees outside, but it actually feels like 8.
Feels like. Don't worry. It only feels like 12.
Can I offer a piece of advice what may sound silly?
That's
but
why we're
actually
here.
Is rooted in legitimacy. Go out and buy yourself a 3-meter charging cable.
Oh, that's good advice. That's why we did this podcast. That kind of advice.
Explain. I'm baffled by the 3 meter.
Because what if they've got stupid power plug placement in the room?
Exactly.
Fair. Yeah. Okay.
The last thing you want to be doing is sitting in the reasonably comfortable chair next to your wife, and then having to lean back and over your shoulder because your phone's still on charge, but you want to be looking at the weather app or ordering some food for new parents.
Or checking how your solar panels
chicken.
are doing.
But also,
Exactly.
But also, I mean, it that may sound a little selfish, but if your wife goes through labour and delivers a baby, and then eventually says, "Can you take a photo of me?" and you're like, "Oh, my phone doesn't have charge. Does yours? Where's your phone?" Like, no.
I was too busy ordering pity chicken, so now my phone has no battery.
Yeah, trying to get it exactly right.
Good point. I like that a lot. That's actually really good advice. A long charging cable so that it is of no consequence where the power plug is. That's great.
Exactly.
Correct.
Can I just suggest that you don't get complacent?
I'm there already.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of got a bit blasé with the second one because the first one, old hand at this, been there, done that. Got my ticket punched, so I knew what I was on about. Yeah. So, wife woke up at 4 and was like, "Oh, I think it's time." I'm like, "Oh, okay, fair enough." So, I called the in-laws to come and look after my daughter, and I then proceeded to spend the next approximately 40 minutes constructing my lunch and breakfast for the rest of the day, considering that, I've got a good 5-hour stint ahead of me. I'm going to want a couple of sandwiches and put together cut up some fruit. And seriously, and have never heard the end of it because we arrived and my wife actually gave birth in the examination room.
Wow.
And she was like, "Because you spent an hour getting your lunch ready before you actually took me to the hospital." Yeah. So I missed out on the birthing suite because you were more interested in making sure that you were going to be well fed.
Yeah.
Because hospital food sucks, and there was nothing near the hospital I'm at. So no.
You turned up and went, "Hang on, I've got this all planned out," and started cramming a sandwich into your head.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. I thought, as I said, I had a good 5-hour window of food munching, and I had my game set up. I had everything ready to go. I had books. I had basically my next 5 hours planned out. And I went down to move the car from the emergency bay into a more secure car park. And by the time I got back, the midwife had said, "So you're having a baby?" And I'm like, yeah, that's why we're here. And she was like, no, you're having the baby. And he was halfway out when I walked back in the room, 10 minutes later.
Wow.
Well, if there's something your dad hates, it's a plan changing.
That's very true.
That's exactly right.
Oh.
And my brother was the same. He actually his wife gave birth in between the two sliding doors of John Hunter Hospital in Newcastle. So she didn't make it even into the hospital. I at least made it to the examination room. But yeah, don't get complacent.
Is that what that movie was about?
Sliding doors.
Yeah. All right. Thank you.
I was gonna say to Monty,
Cul-de-sac.
like both, like the stories of like that where you don't have time, but as Rich said, like taking a book is a good idea because with our first, it was 26 hours after we got to
Wow.
hospital that the baby was delivered, and it was, a good 18 hours of sitting around in the hospital with nothing really happening.
Yeah,
And it was
okay.
Melbourne Cup Day, which I still dirty
Oh.
about that too.
Rude.
Yeah, and so taking stuff that will occupy you if you go in and then they're like, well, not much is happening, go for a walk, just sit around, because that can be pretty boring. Because all
Yeah,
you're going to do is start annoying her by saying, you feeling anything yet? No. What about now?
I just need to know when to have my charcuterie board.
Sandwich number.
I've got my hibachi grill here ready to go. I'm just.
That's right. Also, be prepared. This might just be particular to my wife, but both times she eventually was ending up wearing like one of my oversized shirts that she could deliver in because that was more comfortable to her.
Okay.
But the first time she sent me home, we didn't live too far from the hospital, and she said, can you go home and get like one of your shirts? And I was like, okay. But I just grabbed a shirt, and there are photos of her where she's delivered our first baby, and it's a reference to Fletch on it, and it just says
Nice. Reference to
weird
Fletch.
reference
is
to
good,
Fletch, yeah. Who is Arnold Babar? That's what it says on the shirt. And so we have all these beautiful photos of our newborn, and every time, anytime people see them, they're like, "What is that shirt? Who is Arnold? Who is Arnold Babar?"
So here we go. So
Like,
we need to come up
exactly.
with a competition. Our first phoning competition. What shirt should Lindsay be wearing?
Yes,
What
we can
reference?
print one out. I can
Lisa,
print one
yeah.
out. Let's get it to Monty.
Well, hang on. Surely that's a call for us to get some
Yeah,
merch up and going
absolutely.
in the next week or so.
yeah.
Get a dad pants
Birthing
shirt on her while she goes in
yes.
there.
A
Yeah.
birthing shirt.
Birthing shirts, yes.
So, I was sitting there thinking of, obviously silly dad ideas of advice to give, but then I asked my wife and she actually gave me great ideas. So I'll use those instead because they're actually helpful. Make sure you pack some ultra soft 4-ply toilet paper. Because the hospital toilet paper is like paper towel. It's rough as all
Wow.
shit.
It's negative ply.
And she's going to
wood
be
chips.
kind of obviously sensitive enough without
sure.
rubbing that shit all over the place.
That's really good. Too. That's great to know.
Phrasing,
actually.
Buckland, but yeah.
Also, don't forget your eye mask and earplugs because nurses, as your wife probably will know, they talk bloody loud all night long. And obviously in a maternity ward, you're going to have babies crying at all times of the night. So you're going to want your eye mask and earplugs to at least, give yourself a better chance of
And
getting some sleep in
annoying,
there.
I don't know what kind of situation you're in, but annoying roommate relatives can be a good factor. That I
Yes.
think the eye mask and the earplugs are a very good option there. We had
Yeah, just for
Yeah,
any time of
absolutely,
day.
yeah.
2 o'clock in the afternoon, sleeping
Before-
now. Sorry, no.
before the baby
I
comes.
think that was probably the inference there that it was an anytime
Yeah.
thing, that one.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That can be.
Yeah.
How are you sleeping when your husband's roasting a pig on a spit next to the bed there? Good.
He's got a raclette going. Yeah. What are we doing?
I thought I had 12 hours. I'm just slow cooking this.
I have to make a sorry curry for making a sandwich, which made you give birth an examination.
Right.
I have to put my sorry curry on somewhere.
This is a congratulations on the new baby raclette. Yeah, it's not just any raclette.
Any other hospital prep advice there, gentlemen?
I would suggest that, as silly as it sounds, drive the way to the hospital on a couple of different occasions.
Towels on the
Yeah,
seat.
I've heard that from a
Towels
few
on your
people.
car
Yeah,
seats.
it's a good idea.
Towels on the seat.
Oh, yes, good one.
Towels
Towels on the
I'm in
seat.
the car, ready to go.
Yeah, okay.
Like
Makes
literally, That's a
In
big
case
one.
in case I get a little worried or something.
No, not for you.
Oh, no,
Not
for
you.
her,
Yeah,
for her.
yeah,
Yeah,
for her,
okay, sorry. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
oh.
No, my bad. Yeah,
And
yeah.
big thirsty towels.
On the trip to the hospital. On the trip to the hospital. There's a title. On the trip to the hospital, my father-in-law was driving, and we ended up going a different way than what I would have thought.
Oh, that's
On the
dad.
back.
That's
That's
dadness.
upsetting the dad in you, that's for sure.
Oh, that
And this
is.
feels like a
I was-
great dad off on the way to.
That's a
yeah,
dad
what are you
off.
doing? Why are you going this
Dad
way?
off, awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I was being overruled. I got overruled.
Oh shit!
and-
So your anxiety went through the roof immediately the second you realised that it wasn't your chosen route, right?
Yeah.
Correct, but we went through a roundabout a little quicker than what we should have, and nearly got cleaned up
God.
on the way, like basically 150 metres
Holy hell.
from the hospital.
Should have gone the other
So-
way.
So
gone the
Yeah,
other
was
way.
a part of you. Sorry, a part of you saying, "Oh, I wish we had got cleaned up." Then he would have at least apologised for going
He would
that
have been
way.
sorry.
Joe's mile took the wrong route risotto.
So was him driving planned or just circumstance?
It was just circumstance. So
My car, I'm driving.
You're not a dad yet, boy.
Were you under the influence, Wigan?
no, like Lynn's had been out walking.
Yep.
Monty, my wife's name is Lindsay as
I
well.
got. It just dawned on me as you said that. I was like, "Wow, what was my wife doing?" yeah, okay. yeah. Go on.
I've been holding on to that one for a couple of episodes
Good.
now.
It worked. It was perfect time to drop it.
So my Lindsay had been out walking the neighbourhood for about 3 or 4 hours, trying to promote, the birth, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh shit!
So
here we
not
go.
not like a nightclub
She said-
event that was happening. Yeah.
Not promoting that.
No,
All right, everyone get down to the
Just
bird.
papering the community.
Some sort of letterbox drop. Yeah.
that's right. And so in the car we got, and she said, "No, you're in the back with me." And so my father-in-law took the reins as such, and and away we went. And then, so Linz was in a huge amount of pain. We nearly get sideswiped. We get swept into the delivery room, and you're 9.5 centimetres dilated.
Yeah, right.
We're going to have a baby in 12 hours.
Oh, okay. All right. Now, two questions. One, did you resist saying something during the trip, going, oh, why have you chosen this way? Number one. So hold on to that.
I
Number
resisted.
two.
Yeah.
Well,
before they got her out of the car, they had this conversation.
Yeah. So that's one. Number two, did you in your head calculate the time difference between what your route would have been and what this route ended up being?
So to answer the first part of the question, this is the first time I've spoken about it since.
So you said nothing.
Said nothing.
Do you feel
Okay.
unburdened?
Held it in. I've held it
Yeah.
in.
Do you feel free?
An exclusive on this episode.
Yeah.
A very special dad pan.
Correct.
Yeah. So you're going to listen?
Confession's good for the soul.
I'm going to make him listen.
All right.
And the second question, yes, I had already downloaded and printed out a map of the multiple routes
So-
right.
on where is at that particular stage. I believe it was where is.
It's like rally driving. You were rally driving, Wiggo. You were sitting there going,
Yeah, that's
hard
right.
left, into
Left.
C, right.
Yeah, soft left.
Okay. So according to your calculations, what was the time difference?
Approximately 2 minutes. So it was a fair, like that's
That's a
we all
significant
know.
percentage of that 12 hours that you still had to
Correct.
wait.
That's half a sandwich.
Exactly.
I heard something amongst that whole thing that brought a question on in me. Being under the influence, should I stop drinking too much, maybe a week or so out, in case that not saying I drink too much all the time.
Yeah, you should always be ready
yes.
to drive.
Yeah,
This last
you need to be
yeah,
ready to
my
drive.
friend. Like I'm.
Yeah,
I'm
fair
not
play.
Even joking when I say this. Take advantage of it. Like you know,
it could happen.
if you're What's your plan? What is your hospital plan? So I'm assuming you'll be driving. Is that the idea? Yeah.
Yes, I'll be driving. We're quite lucky. We're quite close to the hospital. I'd say maximum it's about a 8-minute drive. I reckon I could do it in about 6 or 7 minutes if need be.
Right. Planned route.
Yeah, planned route. I got 2 routes. I got,
Ooh.
Do you imagine ever living down if you're too pissy to drive when it happens?
Yeah, exactly.
no,
It'll make
it's
a great
very good
story
point.
for
I
any
definitely
future
don't want that
podcast
to
you're a part
happen.
of.
Yeah, it'd be perfect for the pod. Yeah, exactly. But,
But it'll be single dad pants.
dad pants.
Sad dad. I just wanted, because it was, like I said, Melbourne Cup Day, and because Justine sat around in hospital with nothing, we just sat together all day with nothing happening.
Did you
Her
watch the
mum-
cup?
Yeah, we did. Her mum and sister drove down from Newcastle, like
Yeah.
at a 5-hour drive that they did in 4.5 hours,
Yeah.
and then found that nothing was happening. So at about 7 o'clock, Justine's mum was like, "Oh, I'm sick of this. Come on, we're going to have dinner." And we left her at the hospital and went and had a schnitty and a
Pity
beer
schnitty.
on Melbourne Cup Day.
Yeah.
Pity schnitty, and went and had a beer, and then went back to the hospital. Nothing happened. Juz says to me, "You just go home and have a rest, and then come back." And then I went home, and then within about half an hour, she was like, "Yeah, it's on. Come back." And when I was driving back, the police were doing RBT, like the random breath testing, and I wanted to get pulled over just so I could say I'm on the way to the hospital. My wife's having a baby. I just wanted to say that, but they didn't signal me out, sadly.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, did you go out and get those shinnies because her mum got a quaddie up for the Melbourne
We didn't
Cup?
get a bet on.
These
That
are
was the
victory
problem.
schnitties. No, you got pity schnitties.
Congratulations on getting Quinella in the cup, Schnitty.
And is your child named Sub-Zero now?
Wow,
After
that
the
is a
video game.
reference.
How old do you think his kids are?
Yeah, wow.
I don't know.
He had a kid when he was 10.
And it was grey.
Yeah.
On this kind of topic, I saw an article this week from Mamma Mia. There was a TikTok clip. Now, can we join the dots between being a dad and TikTok? There's probably not a lot of crossover, is there? It's,
I know a few dances that my daughter has done ad nauseum.
Oh, yeah? And have you done the dad thing of trying to learn those dances?
No,
There's something-
no, I've done the dad thing of saying, nah, not doing it.
Well, there's something really daddish about a dad with his daughters trying to do a popular dance and being a bit awkward in the background of a TikTok. I would have thought.
Yep. I think there's two. You've got 2 options and that's it. There's no in between.
Right. So yeah, these midwives have shared a few stories of bad birthing suite behaviour they've heard about or witnessed. Some examples are the dad saying they're tired and complaining that they're tired while their wife is in labour.
All right.
That's probably something you shouldn't do, Monty.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm on that one. I get that. I've already thought about that. And occasionally, just at the moment, she's very pregnant, and I go like, I'm feeling a bit... I'm fine. I'm fine. Don't worry.
Yeah, I'm pretty good. Yeah, don't worry about that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eating food that was packed for the wife.
She's not going to eat it.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Well, you just take 2 Eskies.
Yeah.
Like, just take your Esky and then...
No. What you do is you clearly label the 2 Eskies you take.
Her
That's the
lunchbox in
problem.
your Esky, I think, is the what.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. And the hibachi and the slow cooker and the
Who bought a flat press?
That's
one
bad
brings a
behaviour.
press.
Bad dad behaviour. That's hard to say.
Oh, listen, that's something we'll earmark for another episode. Sandwich makers, flat press versus jaffle makers. You know, the pie shaped makers. That's a
Hey,
debate
can I
we'll
just
talk
just on the food thing and the it kind of relates to all this. I remember, I think it was last year, I was watching I get into the NFL a little bit, and there was one of the players in the Super Bowl's wife was due to give birth on the day of the Super Bowl. What do you do? I mean, this is probably not going to happen to me, as I know when the baby's due, and I don't think my professional career is going to take off that quickly, nor will the Super Bowl be held in Australia in the next 2 weeks. But do you if you are in a super sporting event, where do you like? It's always you got to be there for the kid, but what if it's playing in like a World Cup final? What do you do?
If Australia was playing in a World Cup final and my wife was due to give birth, and if I was just watching it, I'd find it very difficult to concentrate on the birth.
That's a call.
Absolutely.
That's a big call. Do you think they would have it on in the room? Like,
I think everyone would have it on everywhere.
Whether you could,
to be fair, I think my wife would expect it to be on as well. Like,
Yeah, of course.
I agree.
like, and I think that if she doesn't understand that, there's a time and a place for everything, and
I don't know if I can agree with that. Matt, are you with your pants panel friends there?
I'd hope it'd be on a TV. I could have a sly eye on it.
Sly eye.
Sly eye.
Day. Yeah.
All right. Yeah, sly eye on it. All right. That's fair. As long as it doesn't look like you're watching it, I suppose.
Yeah.
How many hours was it, Matthew? 23 hours, did you say?
Yeah, 23 hours.
Have both eyes on
We
it.
watched the race.
Every
with-
Codes grand final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many replays could you get in that time?
Pretty boring.
Yeah. Apparently, some dads have asked for their mother to be in there, in the delivery room. So, yeah, having your mother-in-law in there while you try to push a baby out's apparently not something that's advised. So there you go.
That's pretty weird. Yeah, that's
A bit
very
weird. I would very much say that. Using the happy gas, dad getting in there, using that happy gas. The dad fainting during labour, which, Ben, you've told us about previously.
Yes.
The last time anything was about you and you had full attention was when you fainted and made all the nurses carry you out of the room and sort you out rather than look after your pregnant wife.
6 of them.
Six of them.
Oh,
6 of
it was
them.
5 last time. This is
Oh,
Scrum.
growing. Yeah.
it's a scrum.
And lastly, the dad dropping a turd in the bathroom
Come on.
in the delivery room while waiting. I mean, I suppose, but 23 hours, what's he supposed to
4
do?
o'clock.
I mean, he could.
It's her fault.
Exactly.
Somewhere.
I have needs. Yeah.
All right, before we go, gentlemen, I've thrown the question out into the Facebook group, which I encourage everyone to join because that's where we're going to discuss any dad stuff. And everyone's welcome to join and everyone's welcome to discuss dadness whenever the fuck they feel like it in there. So I asked for questions, and we might just float these out there. We haven't got a lot of time left, so we might talk about them in more depth another time. But Davian Dent, who's a friend of the show, who's just come out of a bit of surgery, actually, so we hope you're doing well, Davian. Shout out to you. He asked, when's it acceptable to drink booze in front of your kids? A bit prescient to what we've been talking about.
Yeah.
My thoughts on that would be drink booze immediately in front of your kids because they don't know what the fuck's going on.
Exactly.
In the
In
room?
the room, yeah.
In the room, yeah, with you.
Yeah, would take a slab into the room with you, knock some back.
Well, if you've made a nice rich ragu, you want to have a nice red to go with it. You can't spoil that. Like,
Oh, a red. Make sure you've got
Yeah,
your pair,
absolutely.
your food that you're planning to take in with a nice fucking wine. Jesus
do you play with
Christ.
the afterbirth, do you reckon? Do you think it's a white or a red? Red?
Red.
Surely.
Red.
One of those New World Reds, like a kind of lighter.
Yeah,
like
a Napa, a nice Napa
Diavola
Valley.
or whatever you
Do you think light? I would have gone with something pretty oaky myself, but
Oh, okay.
Okay.
yeah.
Well, you do.
You know.
Yeah.
Well, why don't we? You know what? Why don't we bring a couple of bottles and we'll do a little tasting and
Yeah.
we'll see which works.
Nice. And thoughts in the Facebook group as well. Pairing wine with placenta. What do you think? So, yeah, I would say yes. Early days, drink what you like in front of them when they get a bit of awareness.
Make sure
Did I tell you guys about the placenta thing that we had found? You know, the people do.
Well, just fuck the question, eh? I guess.
Well, it
just
relates
fuck
to
that
what
question
you were
right
saying.
off.
You can read the question in a second, but it relates to what you're saying. I told you about my dogs and the placenta. Did I tell you about that last time?
I don't think so, Monty.
Okay.
No,
So,
but I reckon we would have said, "Hey, Monty, tell us more about the dog and placenta thing."
well, no, what I had hoped was when I just said, "Did I tell you about that?" You'd say, "Oh, yeah, you already told me about that." No. So what happened was Lindsay and I were looking into, a lot of people kind of plant a tree or even eat the placenta, the afterbirth or things like that. And we're very close to our 2 dogs. We have 2 greyhounds, and we thought, well, let's look it up, see if dogs can kind of eat the placenta. We thought maybe it'd be something they'd like, maybe bond with the baby. The internet.
Wait,
the internet
what?
gives a harsh no. Says never feed the placenta to your dogs. They'll get a taste for blood.
I was going to say,
Specifically-
you want them to bond with the baby.
Yeah,
They'll be like, that baby tastes
the baby.
good.
Yeah, exactly. So we won't be feeding it to our dogs. Yes.
That
Oh
blood
my
bag sure
God.
did taste good.
That's frightful.
Ooh, there's a moving one now.
Yeah, that comes from experience. That
I know
answer
what
comes from
I know what
experience.
pairs well with this placenta, that baby.
Why did that even cross your mind to do?
Well, because I thought they eat some weird stuff, man, and I was like, they'll eat anything.
Bloody dog people.
Yeah. Well, they're good
But
dogs.
well, I know we're completely, talking placenta here. One thing you need to be aware of, Monty, is it's really
It's
massive.
fucking huge.
Like
Wow,
the
really?
birth of the child, you're prepared for, but you are not prepared for just how big the.
And when they
placenta
lay it
is.
out on the
Wow, okay.
bench next to you, like in the container or whatever it is, and it kind of spreads and it seems to have a bit of a life of its own. It literally looks like something out of the blob.
Yeah,
like it seems to
Right.
expand like something. It's an incredible thing.
Yeah, the
Absolutely
nurse
incredible.
actually
Yeah.
showed us. She was like, "Look at the membrane of it."
Well, they
Look
have to
how far
go.
it's
They have to
stretching."
check it all
She
to make
was
sure
like,
that there's no holes or anything because you're leaving
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah.
It's really bad for
yeah.
infection and everything. But yeah, it's incredible.
Bad. Yeah, yeah. Wow. Okay, that's something to know then. Yeah.
All right. Well, I hope that answered your question, Davian and Kat Sorens. Both Davian and Kat Sorens from the Strange Times podcast, by the way. Check it out. It's a weekly podcast they tackle the strange so you don't have to, is their byline. When should you start blackmailing them to do stuff, i.e. your kids? It's probably a little further down the line than we're dealing with here, but doesn't that just sound like pocket money?
Yes.
Blackmailing suggests you've got something on your kids
Yeah.
that you want to share to the public unless they do chores or something.
Legit though. What age do you think a human understands the concept of blackmail? Because it's not. It's like what, 14 or 15?
That's a great.
I reckon.
Yeah.
No,
We are
I
running
reckon-
well over time for such a
I've got a
philosophical
5-year-old, I
question.
reckon, who's blackmailed me. Like, she'll say, "Oh, I'm going to tell Mum if you don't do it." Like, that's a pretty stock standard.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
a pretty
it's
standard.
early,
Yeah, there you
much
go.
earlier.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
you go. That's
Not that I ever
okay.
do anything
wow.
that requires
much
blackmail.
earlier.
But I'm sure that, yeah. Let's move on.
Yeah, wow.
Wow. Okay.
Well, even something as simple as eating mum's chocolate.
Oh, yeah.
like
Just when they see you eating
sort of
something
gotta-
you shouldn't be eating.
Yeah.
All right. So listen, Pants Panel. Listen up. This might be the last episode before the event occurs. So Monty might be out of action for a
On
little
the panel. He will be on the panel
Are we live
next time we
streaming
see
it?
him.
while. He'll be on the
Wow.
panel. Like, it won't even be a panel. It'll just be everyone. That's just what the show is. We don't even introduce you as a separate thing. Everyone's a panel.
Are we having a watch party on Facebook,
so-
Facebook page or anything for the birth? Is it?
Not a bad idea.
Yeah,
Not
live
the worst
stream.
idea I've heard. Lindsay into that? Facebook Live?
We can do it like the SBS do Tour de France. You can watch a bit of racing and then you do cooking for a little bit, and we'll just make some more food, and then back to the.
Is Phil Liggett going to call the
Yeah,
birth?
okay,
wow.
Liggett involved. Love it.
Well done.
I'm a little taken aback by a Phil Liggett mention, which it wasn't in my purview at all.
If you at home had Phil
in
Liggett
my
on
notes,
your
yeah.
pants, you'd go, yeah, you win.
But look, yes, last chance, last words of advice. What can you throw at him?
Everything's going to be fine.
Oh,
Don't try and get to the hospital in 6.5 minutes if it should
No.
take you 8.
Just
Okay.
If it's going to take you 9, get there in 6.5.
Yeah. And get off the piss, you lush.
Hey, whoa.
take snacks, but have them pre-made.
Yes.
Good advice.
Don't take as long as
Sentient
Rich did to
advice.
organise your menu for the day.
Yeah. Because you'll never hear the end of it, trust me.
Okay. Maybe on your pre-drives to the hospital, you could drop off a sandwich press or a smoker.
Not bad.
Love it. Yeah, not a bad. Yeah.
The week before, just say, look,
preload.
can I install this here?
Excuse me, do you mind if this birthing suite, if I just take it over for the next week on the off chance that my wife
Yeah.
gives birth? And
How do you guys feel about
Oh.
like a wood-fired pizza oven?
what about what about using the bath as a sous vide?
A proper barista coffee machine in the
Yeah,
A good coffee is worth its weight in gold in a hospital,
in
for
the
sure.
room itself would be good. Yeah.
I think, Monty, I think it's having a child is a lot like getting married, in that a lot of the preparation goes into the wedding, but then you're married, and that's the important bit. And it's the same with a lot of the thought and energy goes into the birth and the plan of the birth, but there's a few other things happening after that are going to take up a bit more of your time and mental energy. So start packing for that.
Wow. Oh, that's good advice. That's lovely.
And a lot of it's got nothing to do with you. Like the birth, like we said last time, just get out of the way. Professionals and the pet person who's pushing the baby out, that's their job.
They know what they're doing.
And yeah, make some roast beef sandwiches for
Be
everyone.
there.
Yeah.
Be happy.
Yeah. So.
Aw,
Yeah.
That's all great advice. Thanks, Pants Panel. I can't wait to come back from this journey and tell you all how it went and ask for advice in the next stage of fatherhood.
Awesome. Have they had a name drop yet from anyone? Has anyone picked the names, or are you keeping that under wraps?
We have what we think
Yep.
is the name. No one has kind of
Okay.
guessed it yet. It's it may, I think we've had it for quite a while, but I think it's very liable to change on that drive to the
Oh,
hospital or
like
something
that.
like that. But you never know.
Yeah.
Gertrude. Is it Gertrude?
Gertrude's
Snitty?
up there. Gertrude's top 5. Raclette.
Top 5.
Yeah, Schnitty.
Poutine.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero. Yeah.
Sub-Zero.
I had Sub-Zero into Phil Liggett on my card, so
What?
collect
What
points.
a combo.
Yeah, wonders on that.
That was in the same pod multi. Fantastic.
Yes.
All right. Well, I think we're well over time. So, gentlemen, Pants Panel, thank you. Monty, best of luck. That's all we can say. This has been 4 episodes of solid advice. You should be well equipped to deal with the day now. Pants Panel, I think while Monty's away, getting these first couple of weeks of dadness down pat, we can maybe cover a few broader dad topics and really kind of get into some, more philosophical dad stuff. I don't know how you feel about that. I hope you agree.
Sure.
Yeah. Can we do an 8-parter?
100%.
Eight-parter on weather apps?
Yeah, maybe just a weather app
I'm just gonna
check-in
put it out there.
each.
Lawn talk. But I'm just saying that there's a possibility.
Yeah, lots of lawn talk. We'll get some lawn talk going. A bit of chafe chat.
Famous dads of
Bit
history.
of chafe chat. Dad's little synonymous with chafe sometimes. So,
Yeah.
And the dad commandments as well.
we'll nail
really
down
gotta-
some dad commandments. Yes, we've talked a little bit about them previously before, but we are gonna we'll let everyone know what the dad commandments really are, and I think we'll refer back to them as we move forward. But Monty, fire up, son. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, it'll be great.
Thank you.
Awesome.
I'm excited. I'm fired up.
And it's not about you. Just remember that.
I'm fired up, but it's not about me.
Yeah. So much knowledge. Well, yeah, we're coming back after our Pants Panel discussion in a bit of a change of structure to the podcast because, Monty, you're about to leave us for an indeterminate amount of time. It's nearly here. You're nearly done. We did our best to prep you, myself and the Pants Panel, before you left, but look, the journey doesn't end here, obviously. There's plenty more to get across to you after the fact.
I feel like I've learned a lot about weather apps, a lot about curries, a lot about...
We're putting...
Yeah, a lot about weather apps. Let's keep it at that.
It's only to scratch the surface there. Now, it's about to happen. We're very close.
Yes.
Are you ready?
No, but I think I'm as ready as can be. Emotionally, I think I'm very ready. Practically, I think, we're as ready as can be. I'm very lucky. My wife is really good at organising and is one of those kind of people, so that's working really well. But no, I think we're as ready as can be, but I don't think you're ever ready, if you know what I mean. I don't know. I'll find that out. But I think I'm ready, but not quite ready.
I think I'm ready.
Yeah.
It's a great sentence. Yeah. I don't think you should know you're ready, really.
And I think that no matter what stage of this you're at, you're ready because it's going to happen. You can't make it not happen. Do you know what I mean? You're ready.
Yeah.
It's just what you learn quickly and what you don't.
And you know what? You'll have all these emotions going on, and really there's just a moment of clarity when you're going to look at it for the first time.
Wow, I'm excited for that moment of clarity. And you're not the first person to tell me about it. A lot of people have said, yeah, there's going to be a moment where you're just like, wow, this is it.
All right, well, yeah, what can I say? Myself and the Pants Panel will keep the boat rowing while you're away. We'll keep everyone updated on how you're tracking, and then when you're ready, when the time's right, you'll come back. Any final thoughts before we say farewell for now?
Nah, I think I'm ready.
That's where you could have said, make sure you follow the socials, tell a friend about the show.
Oh, yeah.
Get all the... Jeez, all right. You made it personal, didn't you?
I was going to bring some cutouts of like the show art to the birthing room. Others will want to listen.
Why don't you print out the show artwork and just put it like in people's clipboards? There's clipboards at the end of the bed, so when the doctors are walking around, they turn a page over and there's a bit of dad pants info there.
Love it. Hey, I had a thought too. I wonder what will be my first pair of actual dad pants. Because on that day, I'll be wearing
You'll choose them.
Yeah.
Because you're packing them in a bag.
Well, unless they get dirty and I have to put on another pair if the labour goes for quite a while. Do you know? Like I could have my number 1 dad pants and my number 2 backup dad pants.
I can't say that...
What about dad shorts?
Yeah, same
It's
deal.
winter.
Same deal.
It's winter.
But I can't say that during my wife's labour, there was making sure I'd have fresh Dax was at the top of the priority list.
Really?
Well, no.
Was your child born in summer or winter?
Late spring.
Okay. Warm?
Was the day warm?
Yeah.
I don't bloody remember, to be honest.
Really interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting thought.
Because you spend it all inside.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll let you know all about this when we next chat.
Best of luck, Monty. Best of luck, Lindsay. Not best of luck to these dogs.
Hey, they need luck too.
No, not at all.